Okay, so in yesterday's class, we were discussing about IP version 6 address representation. Okay, how do you represent IP version 6 address? So in today's class, we will discuss about IP version 6 address types. Okay, so there are three types of address. One is the unicast, the other one is the multicast, and the other one is the anycast. Okay, so we all know that unicast is one-to-one. So you have a client, all right, and you have a server, all right, and the communication is between them. That is what you call it as the unicast communication, all right. And then multicasting is you have one particular server and there are many clients. Okay, so say one, two, and there are many clients and communicating to a group. Okay, so multicast is nothing but you communicate to a group. Okay, so that is what you call it as a multicasting. All right. So unicasting is one-to-one. All right, this is one-to-one. So what is that you called as anycast? Usually in networking we have discussed about unicasting, multicasting, and broadcasting. Okay, to everybody. Okay, so one to everybody is what we have discussed already. But what is this anycasting? Anycasting is what we usually it is followed nowadays. Okay, that is same IP address is allotted to many servers. Okay, so for example, now you imagine you have you are here. Okay, this is a client. Okay, and there is a server here in India. Okay, and then you imagine that in China we have one more server. Okay, and then nearby in Sri Lanka we have one more server. Okay, so now what happens is every server will have the same IP address, IP1, IP1, and IP1. Okay, all the server will have the same IP address, and whenever this client give a request, okay, this client give a request. For example, I say www.ip1.com. Okay, I give a request. It goes to the nearest server. Okay, it goes to the nearest server. Suppose what if the server is not able to do this request? Then it goes to the next nearest server. Okay. Then it goes to the next nearest server. This is what you call it as a anycasting. Okay. Anycasting is nothing but same IP is allotted to, this is what in Google data center it is followed. Okay. So it is followed in Google data center, right? So you can even explore more on anycasting protocol. All right. So nearest, it give the request to the nearest server possible. Okay, that is what you called as the anycasting. All right. Now, in multicasting, you have something called assign and solicited node. Okay, so assign means it is fixed. It's like a static. Okay, it is like a static assignment. And solicited means it is like dynamic. Okay, you just negotiate and get the IP address. That is what you call as a solicited node. All right. Then you have the unicast data transmission. Okay, we will discuss in detail about the unicast data transmission. What is that? Okay, in unicast, the first category is global unicast. Okay, the first category is global unicast. So what is global unicast? Globally, one IP address will be allotted for every user. Okay, so isn't it amazing? Okay, you go anywhere, that IP address is attached to you, like your mobile number. Okay, so you have your mobile number and you go to Delhi, the mobile number is same. You go to southern part of the India, the mobile number is same. Okay, so similar to that, one IP address will be allotted for you and you can carry that IP address along with you. Okay, so as if the giants, okay, so like organizations. Okay, usually now IP version 4, you take IP version 4, who gets the public IP version 4? Only the organizations. Okay, so the admin can get IP. But now with the IP version 6, you can get it. Okay, every user can get IP version 6 IP address. That is what you call as a global unicast address. Okay, so that range starts with 2000. As of now, they have decided that if any address starts with the range of 2000, it is a global unicast address. Okay, so the next one is a link local. Okay, what is the link local? Link local is, it is within your network. Okay, you cannot, that is within your network. Okay, and it is automatically generated. Okay, it is automatically generated using the MAC address. Okay, using your MAC address, your own MAC address, this link local IP is generated. All right. And now this link local, what is that? The name itself says it is very local to your link. Okay, it cannot cross your link. All right, it's like your MAC address. Okay, you can use this IP address to communicate within your network. That is what is link local. Okay, next one is the loopback. Loopback, we 127.0.0.1. Okay, we have one loopback address for IP version 4. Why do we use that loopback address? That loopback address is used for communicating to check whether the TCP IP stack is well and good in your computer. Okay, in your computer, okay, whether the TCP IP, the internet is working on well. Okay, for debugging purpose, for testing purpose. Once you install all the networking drivers, you will be the first thing you will do is ping 127.0.0.1. What does that mean? You are checking whether the TCP IP stack is installed properly. Similarly, the loopback address for IP version 6 is this ::1/128. Okay. So the next one is unspecified address. Okay. So the unspecified address is okay, I'll tell you, this is not ::1, this is ::0. Okay, what is this unspecified address? It is similar to that of 0.0.0.0. Okay, please listen. It is similar to that of 0.0.0.0. That is, this address is used for initial address configuration. Okay, before you get an address, you need some address to communicate in the network. For that purpose, we use this unspecified address. It is not ::1, it is ::0. Okay, it is ::0/128. The next one is unique local. Unique local is similar to that of your private IP. Now the question is, ma'am, is there anything called NAT? Yes, there is called NAT6. There is called ICMP6. Okay, so everything that we have for version 4 is also established for version 6. But now, this private IP, okay, so they have established this private IP for future use. Maybe in future, even IP version 6 may go out. Okay, in that case, we will use it. Or for any administrative purpose, let them use it. So unique local is similar to that of your private IP range. Okay. Then embedded IP version 4. Embedded IP version 4 is, in order to use IP version 6 along with IP version 4, you have this address. Okay. You have this address. Okay. So that is what you called as the IP version 6 addressing. Please have a look at this table. Okay, to look at this table, we will go to the next slide. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Now, how is this we have in IP version 4? Okay, we have something called host portion, then we have something called the network portion. Okay, so in class A, we have the first octet as the host portion, then the remaining as a network, sorry, first octet as a network portion, and then the remaining as a host portion, right? So how do we have here in IP version 6? So IP version 6, as we know, there is no need to have it, but yet there are some regulatory bodies. Okay, so you have service providers. Okay, in the service providers, you will have small networks. Okay, so then you will have interface ID. For example, you take Airtel. Okay, let's take a service provider Airtel. So So he will have different regions. Okay, so he will have different region. For example, in India, let's take, he has four major region: north, south, east, west. Okay, then in south he will have different zones. You understand? Okay, he may have different zones. All right. So in zones he will have different areas. All right. So now there should be some bits allotted to classify this. That is what is the meaning of this global routing prefix, subnet, and interface ID. Okay. So why do we have these bits? Okay. So this classification, because you cannot have a flat architecture. Having a flat architecture is really very hard to monitor. Okay. So for example, let us take for Airtel, I will be allotting 2201 0db8 3c4d 201, okay, 4d. All right, for Airtel let us allot 4d. Then for BSNL we will allot 4c. Then for Vodafone we will allot 4e. You understand? Likewise, they will be allotting the numbers. Then subnet, within that the Airtel can have. Okay, so the south zone will have 2012. This will be having, the north zone will have 2012, south zone will have 2011, he will be having 2010, this guy will be having 2009. Okay, so likewise the subnet ID can be divided. So within, then again here also within the subnet ID we can have the zones, then within the zones we can have the area. Okay, so that is how the hierarchy is splitted in IP version 6. Okay, so usually they will use /64. The prefix of /64 is used. What does that mean? 64 bits is allotted for the representing the network. Then the remaining 64 is allotted for representing the host portion. Okay, so that is how it is defined as of now. But anyways, it depends on the regulatory bodies that allows the IP version 6. Now the question is, how IP version 4 is also there. IP version 6 is evolving. Okay, now how can you just convert that? Okay, so because IP version 4 is depleting, all the devices are started working on IP version 6. How are you going to do the transition? Okay, so can we have one day called a flag day where we stop the operation of the entire internet? Okay, we say, I'm going to stop the operation of all the entities in the internet. Immediately on a day basis, I will maintain and change it to IP version 6. Is it possible? That is not possible. Okay, we cannot stop internet. If internet is stopped, that's it. The world will get stagnated. Okay, so there cannot be any flag day. All right. So now how can you mix up the working of IP version 4 and version 6? So it is happening today, right? Maybe before 2 to 3 years, that was a dream. But now you see IP version 4 and version 6 devices are working together. Okay, so many companies, most of the companies have already shifted to IP version 6. Okay, so you see data centers like Google, Facebook, all these data centers are already working on IP version 6. If you put trace route or something, it gives you a response with IP version 6 address only. Okay, they have already shifted to IP version 6. Now, how are you going to work with it? How are you going to adapt the new technology IP version 6 having the old technology IP version 4? Okay, the two technique is dual stack and tunneling. Okay, dual stack and tunneling. So what is that dual stack and tunneling? For example, I'll tell you what is called as the tunneling. Okay, then I'll explain you the dual stack. Okay, so tunneling is nothing but you see here IP version 6 routers. So in between there are two routers where we have IP version 4. Okay, there are two routers there where we have IP version 4. Then we have IP version 6. Now what do I do is I'll just come here. Okay, here the IP version 6 packet comes. Okay, this is the version 6 packet. It comes here and this is version 6. Now this is the guy who can understand version 4 and version 6. Now he knows that beyond this point only version 4 can travel. So what he will do is he will just take the version 4 packet, okay, and put the version 6 inside. Okay, this is what you call as tunneling. Okay, as if a car goes inside. All right, you just take version 4 and put version 6 packet inside. So this is IP version 4 packet. Okay, In the data section of the IP version 4, you will have IP version 6. All right. Now it comes here. Okay, this packet comes here, then comes here. Now this router is again a router who know version 4 as well as version 6. Okay, now he understands that the next person is version 6. So he will decapsulate. He will remove this outer packet. Okay, he will remove the outer packet and gives only the 6 to IP version 6. Okay, so he will give only that 6 to this particular section. All right, so this is what you called as the tunneling. I'll show you the picture also. Okay, see here, source A and the destination is F. Okay, now what happened here? The IP version 4 packet, source B, destination is E, because beyond that IP version 4, nobody understand IP version 4. So now he makes a source B and destination E with the IP version 6 packet inside. So now it goes here. When it comes here to the destination removes that outer red color cover and gives only the blue color packet to the last person. This is what you called as the tunneling. Okay. Then dual stack is nothing but the previous one. Okay, I'll show you. Both IP version 4 and version 6 are together. Okay, so that is the IP version 6 datagram itself. It carries the payload of IP version 4 among the IP version 4 routers. Okay, so that is what dual stack means. Both a router, okay, a single router, it is capable of performing IP version 4 as well as IP version 6. All right. So when an IP version 4 packet comes, it know, okay, this is IP version 4. Okay, now route it. So when a packet 6 comes, again it knows it is a version 6. So route it. So that is what you call as a dual stack. Okay, so the well-known technique is the tunneling technique, and it is implemented among the routers that is running on the core, and IP version 6 is successfully implemented by many giants. Okay, Google giants and Facebook, and everybody uses IP version 6 nowadays. All right. So now we have completed our discussion about the addressing part. Okay, we know that a network layer, there are two types of functions. One is the addressing part, the other one is the routing part. Okay, and in the addressing part, we discuss IP version 4 address, then IP version 6 address. In IP version 4 address, we discuss about the different classes, then we discuss about the subnetting concept, then the VLSM concept. Then in IP version 6, we discuss about what is the address representation, what are the different types of address, then how IP version 4 and version 6 can work together. So with this, the addressing part, the major part of your network layer, the one functionality of network layer is done. Okay. Now we are moving to the very important part called the header. All right. So IP version 4 and version 6 header, as we have already, what is version 4 and version 6. I thought I'll compare both the headers and teach you. Okay. First, let us discuss IP version 4 header. All right. Okay, now let's start with the IP version 4 header. Okay, the first one is version. Okay, this version says whether it is 4-bit or version 4 or version 6. Okay, so it is version 4 or version 6. Then IHL is the header length. Okay, need a header length. Why do we need to specify the header length? Because it is all fixed, right? So why should we specify the header length is IP version 4 has a provision of including options. Okay, you can include options. What are the different types of options we will see in the coming slides? So IP version 4 has this provision of including options. So when you include options, we don't know how many options we have included. So for that purpose, we have header length. Then type of service is used to include, this is for the congestion, okay, the network layer congestion notification, okay, network layer congestion notification, all right. Then we have the total length. Total length is nothing but the header length plus data, okay, the header length plus the data includes the total length, all right. Now, the identification flag and fragment offset are used for fragmentation. Okay. Now, what happened here is every time when your, if suppose your router encounters a packet and the lower link, okay, so for example, your router is connected this way. There is one upper link and lower link. This is called upper link and this is called lower link. If the lower link bandwidth is less, okay, it cannot accommodate the total packets that was transmitted by the upper link, your router will chunk the packet. That is where we have discussed in packet switching. I hope you remember that, okay. Packet switching is nothing but your packets are chunked and then it is just floated in the internet, okay. So your router will fragment the packet, right. So when your router fragment the packet, these three fields are used, okay. How do they do it? We will discuss later, okay. Now, identification, flag, fragment, offset are the three fields used for by the router when it just chunked the packet, okay. Then you have the time to live field. I will explain what is time to live. Then protocol, it talks about whether the upper layer uses TCP or UDP, okay, TCP or UDP. Then header checksum, we know how checksum is calculated, okay. Then the source address and the destination address. And padding is used whenever the field is not of proper even number. You know, networks like only even number. They hate odd numbers, okay. So now if the numbers is not properly tallied, zeros are added to it. That is what you called as a padding, okay. So now I'll explain what is time to live, okay. What is time to live? So time to live is a very important field, okay. This is one field where your router change every journey, okay. On every hop, this is a one single field that is changed, okay. So apart from fragmentation, okay, apart from fragmentation, this is the only field that is changed by the router on every of its hop, okay. Now, what is time to live? Time to live is the total jump, okay, total hops, okay, please note it down, total hops taken by the router, okay, taken by the router to reach the destination, okay, to reach the destination. All right, the TTL it is again renamed as hop limit here. Please, all of you listen. TTL, time to live, is renamed as hop limit in IP version 6. So what is that? Total hops taken by the router to reach the destination. Now, how the TTL works? I'll tell you how the TTL works. For example, let us take this is a router. Okay, so here is router 1. All right, and here is router 2. Okay, and here is router 3. Why should we need TTL field? I'll tell you. So there are 3 routers. Now router 2 says, okay, give packet to router 1. Okay, and now router 1, let us take this as the router 4. Okay, router 1, please all of you listen very carefully. Router 2 gives the packet to router 1. Now router 1 should give the packet to router 4. Okay, this must be the path. But what happens is, due to some inconsistency in the network, the packet is rerouted here. Okay, the packet comes again to router 3. Now router 3 checks, say, come on, this should go to router 1, give it to router 2. All right. Then router 2 may say, what is this? Just now I forwarded this packet, give it to router 1. But now what happened is router 1, it is not again, the inconsistency is not changed. So it just forward the packet to router 3. Likewise, there is a possibility of cycles. Okay, there is a possibility of cycles, or I should say loops. Okay, so there is a possibility of routing loops in the network. This happens when your routing protocol is running. Okay, whenever your routing protocol is initially running the routing table, okay, it is when it is initially distributing the routing table, there is a chance of routing loops. Okay, so if the routing loops is not taken care, what happened? Infinitely, the packet will be moving, and it will be keep on consuming the bandwidth. Okay, what you will do? You cannot do anything. For that purpose only, we have something called TTL. What will happen to TTL? Now I said that from R2. Okay, I say this is R2 and this is R1 and this is R4. Okay, and this is R3 and so on. Now I said TTL is equal to 2. What is that 2? Once I jump 1, 2. Okay. Now when the packet comes here, my TTL, I'm sorry. When the packet comes here, my TTL will become 1. What does that mean? Time to live field is decremented by the router once. Okay, every time your IP version 4 header comes to the router or IP version 6 header comes to the router, the time to live field is decremented by 1. Please note down this point. It is very, very important. Now what happened? The packet comes here. By mistake, the packet comes here. So TTL will become 0. If TTL becomes 0, either there should be a destination or the packet will be lost. Okay. If TTL is 0, the router will search for destination. If the destination is not there, the router will just destroy the packet there itself. Okay. So that is the purpose of TTL, time to live. Why do we use time to live? In order to avoid routing loops. Okay. So in the initial journey of the packet, the time to live field is set to the maximum that the packet has to take. If the hop is not met on its way, if TTL is equal to 0, the router will destroy the packet. Okay. Why we should use it? In order to avoid the routing loops. Okay. The very important point is that TTL is decremented by 1 by every router on its journey. Okay, as the packet moves from one router to the other router, the first thing the router will do is it will decrement the TTL value by 1. Okay, please have a note at that. So here also we have version. This is for the network layer congestion notification. These two fields, okay, for flow label and traffic class in order to prioritize your data transmission. Okay, this is to prioritize your data transmission. Then payload length, as this header is fixed. Okay, it's payload length. The next header, TCP or UDP, hop limit, source address, and destination address. So now I want everybody to take your notes. Please take your notes and draw both the header. Okay. So 5 minutes of time I'll give you. So draw both the IP version 4 and version 6 header in your class notes. Okay, now I'll tell you there are few fields. Okay, you see that yellow color. Okay, so that is not changed for IP version 4 and version 6. Okay, but the red color fields are not present here. So we will examine why it is not present here in version 6. So you know IP version 6 is preferred over IP version 4 many times because of its simple header structure. Okay, it is fixed header structure. Okay, now we will just justify why. All right. So we understand that the error identification. Okay, so here they say that header length. So the header length field is not required in IP version 6 because the header is fixed. Okay, no more fields are added extra here. Okay, so the header length is not included. Header checksum and version 6 rely mainly on the transport layer checksum. Already a transport layer checksum is done, and why should we have to include one more? So that is what the checksum is not included here. And options and padding, there is no options field in IP version 6. If at all you need anything that extra the IP version has to do, you can include something called extension header. I'll show you that also in the coming slides. Okay, so you have something called extension header. You can add that as an extension header. So what are the extension header? Security. Okay, so security, fragmentation. So fragmentation, you see here the IP version 4, the fragmentation is already there. Okay, but here it is added as an extra extension header. If you want to fragment, you include the fragmentation. Otherwise, the IP version 6 header will go as it is. Now, what is the router will do when it encounter a version 4 packet? The router will first check the flags for fragmentation. Listen, all of you. Whenever a router check your IP version 4 header, the first thing it will do is it will check for the flag. Okay, it will check whether the flag indicates the presence of a fragment. Okay, so if the flag does not indicate the presence of a fragment, then the IP version 4 will go ahead. Okay, no flag. Okay, so then it will come to TTL, it will decrement it by 1. Okay, it will decrement it by 1 and then it will proceed. And one more thing, it will check the header checksum also. Okay, so 3 fields the router will have to examine in IP version 4. But consider IP version 6, immediately your router opens, it will check the hop limit, decrement, source address, destination address, yes, route the packet. But here before routing, the processing itself will take a little bit of delay. What are the process it will do? Number 1, it will check for the fragmentation flag, it will decrement the TTL. Number 3, it will calculate the checksum. So 3 things it has to do in IP version 4. But in IP version 6, it just decrement is 1, check the destination address, check for the extension header. Sorry, this next header is not TCP UDP. This shows the presence of extension header. If there is an extension header, it is here. So whenever a router checks, it will check next header is there. No. Okay. Decremented destination address route. So the IP version 6 header processing itself takes a less number of time. Okay, compared to IP version 4, the processing overhead is very less in IP version 6 header. Okay, so it is a little bit faster. Okay, than IP version 4. All right. So that is about IP version 4 and version 6 header. In the next class, I'll teach you about the fragmentation, the number of extension header added. Okay, so all these concepts we will be discussing in the next class. Okay, so now type your register number in the chat box and you can leave. Thank you so much.